Hello folks. Well, many of you that have followed my channel for many years know what I had in my garage and shop from those videos. Hundreds of vintage airplanes, helicopters, quadcopters, antique radios, and my antique 1931 Model A was in that garage. Well, it's all been destroyed by a devastating fire that happened on 9/11. Here's what happened. I had flown my vintage Byron Pitts a few days earlier, and I had the tailwheel spring break when I landed it. So Sunday morning around noon I was in the garage and I was working on repairing it. When it was done, I then went inside to upload the video I had produced of flying it the day before. Well, it never got uploaded because about 45 minutes into the uploaded, I noticed the lights began flickering. I thought it had something to do with the 2-day-old 4K 55-inch TV I just bought and was using as a monitor. Well, then I began to smell smoke. It was like plastic, too. So I ran upstairs yelling, "I smell smoke! I smell smoke!" I then ran outside and saw smoke everywhere. I immediately opened the door to my garage and burned my hand on the doorknob and was blasted in the face with a ball of fire where my shirt and hair caught fire. The neighbor across the street initially saw the fire and was coming over to help, as she said she saw a small fire in the middle of the garage on the floor. The garage door opened by itself about a third way and she could see it. Well, when I opened the door, everything went up in flames and an explosion. And although the fire investigator said the small fire came from a door that led to the attic that had fallen to the ground, and that is what she saw, it was determined most likely a wiring defect in the attic started the fire way earlier. But the investigators said the cause was still undetermined. Well, the fire was fueled by lipos, gasoline in the car, and many other things, including a rug on the floor. Well, after Jody put the fire out on me, I ran into the house frantically trying to find my kitties and my wife. By then, the boat caught fire and the windows began exploding. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't find the kitties, and my wife and I bailed out the back door and I bailed out the front. We never did find the kitties. Well, about 10 minutes later the fire department showed up, but the garage was such an inferno and not savable, so they did everything they could just to save the house. Well, they put us in an ambulance and decided to take my wife to the hospital for smoke inhalation. She was there about 3 hours. I wouldn't go, and I watched with the pastor from the church across the street. I was very concerned about my kitties and would have been devastated to know they would suffer and get burned up because I couldn't save them. And unbelievably, about 3 hours into it, one firefighter came to me holding Sophie, my oldest kitty, who is 7. She was all wet and frantic. Folks were ripping off their shirts and covering her up so she couldn't see to get away. Then a neighbor brought a pet carrier and they took her to the vet where they checked her out. I was then concerned about my other baby kitty, Gracie. She's about 1.5 years old now. Well, now 4 hours into it, Pastor Luke said one firefighter said he heard her, and that gave me hope. They took another pet carrier over to the front of the house where it was still burning, and I said if they find her, put it in it. Pretty soon that did happen. Jeff was there and brought her to me. I was ecstatic. It then took about another 4 hours to finally get the fire under control. But the fire damage, the water damage, and the smoke had all taken its toll, ruining everything. There was nothing we could do to save the house. Most of the contents and furniture are smoke damaged. My wallet was in the garage and it burned up too. I just can't believe this happened. It was determined that the fire was most likely started in the roof of the garage by wires and burned long before it showed up, and there wasn't any LiPo batteries or anything that started it. We have had a great outpouring of friends and neighbors who have brought us food and clothes and water. I am just totally grateful to all those who tried to save us, and I thank them from the bottom of our heart. But alas, at our age, and we're in our 70s, it's very hard to start over, and for those folks who follow my channel know, I have models and vintage planes, etc. that could not be replaced. My wife has lost great antiques too, including porcelain dolls and many artifacts, including a player piano we had in the basement. So a few items that I have just ordered have showed up, and maybe if I get another Generation 2 DX8, I'm going to try to fly them. But right now I most likely try to upload the Pitts video that I was trying to upload before the fire started. I'm looking for the file. But in the meantime, you're seeing what happened and how it looked. And yes, I had insurance, but it's not going to cover all what I lost or even enough to rebuild the house which is going to come down. The smoke smell would always remain, and the nightmares too. So I'm going to attempt to find the file on the flooded computer of the pits, and I will upload it when I can. It's never going to fly again. In fact, I can't even find a single piece of it.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4.
I've included links to the newspaper articles in my description and the comments below. Again, I really thank you all for being so kind. We're all a little bit traumatized, but we're all still alive. It could have been a lot worse, and I thank those who risked their lives to save us and pray for their well-being too. Thank you for watching, and be safe and make sure you can hear your fire alarms inside your house. Thanks for watching. This is Dave the NightFlyer signing off.